It's gone really bad this last few days, and the doctor just told me that 2 years ago my um, levels were between 190, and currently it's gone down to 70. And well, last week it was 70, and 75 is borderline anemia, which means you will then need a blood transfusion. So the symptoms I'm having right now, my days are very, very white right now. Also, my lips. And so you can see there's no blood um, circulation there. Like really, really pale. So I got no blood circulation. So very little blood circulation on my hands as well. And just currently waiting for the doctor. Hopefully I will get my transfusion. These last few days I've just been sleeping and sleeping, not being able to be awake. I've been going to work just like normal for some reason. I don't know why, but I get all the energy for work. And then when I come home, that's when everything goes wrong. So I just sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep. So guys, this is me. My eyes are proper pale, like not like when you have like proper white eyes. Blood is important, guys. If you have issues with your blood, it's an issue. No matter how healthy or fit you are.
Where are you from around here?
Eldon, yes.
You live here long or?
3 years now.
Where were you before that?
East London.
Which part of East?
Stratford.
It's not too far.
I apologize for my dry hands.
Sorry?
I didn't cream my body today.
It's alright, don't worry about it. Putting this on YouTube?
Making awareness about anemia.
That's always good.
Because in my country, when I was growing up, I never had a test done.
Really?
And I've always been having these symptoms. And basically they called me lazy.
Really?
Yeah, they call you lazy because you know when you have the symptoms you get fatigued.
Yeah, you get tired really easily, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so just wanted to make awareness
Of course.
so that people can get tested.
Of course, that is very important.
Because,
Let me go. I'll just let that try for 1 second.
okay. Somebody passed me a body cream. I really apologize. I didn't cream my body. Like, that's how tired I am. I don't care. I'm dying.
What made you come here then?
I don't even know.
Let's say, what are you doing here?
On the 28th of December was my 17 years here, and I asked myself, why did you come to England? And did you make the right decision?
What's your answer to that? Have you?
I don't know yet. I'm still trying to find out.
Okay.
Well, but
It's a weird part. Let me just see. How's that feeling? Anything?
yes, cool. You have to be sure in it. Because it's a transfusion as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want it to go anywhere else apart from the veins.
Exactly. I didn't go. Yeah, I didn't get another flash.
What is her body weight?
43
43.
kilos, yeah.
We're here.
I've lost a lot of weight in the last 6 weeks.
It's just 6 weeks. Is that when these symptoms started appearing? A lot more
No.
frequently? Or anything happened?
I had like some lump in my throat and I couldn't swallow solid food for like 6 weeks.
Really?
So that's actually why I came last week. And that's when they found out that my iron levels is down.
Do you normally take supplements for it? Like the iron tablets or anything like that?
Well, the doctor just told me I do get some things over the counter. You can try this one as well and see if maybe that one works better. Because I didn't clean my body, so you can't really see anything.
It's alright, I'm just supposed to go by feel anyway, so it's alright.
How good is this one?
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'll try that. I'll try the other side.
That one looks better for you.
Yes, it's a bit bigger one, so I think I might try that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I see this.
Oh yeah.
I will try that one. Sorry about the alcohol, I know it makes you just getting even more drunk as well. Give me a second. Is that tight enough?
Make it a little bit more because my veins are very stubborn.
Okay, just wait for that.
How long have you been doing this job?
Mid-November.
You just started?
Just qualified, yeah.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, 3 long years at uni. What kind of nursing do you want to do?
Adults.
Yeah,
I couldn't work with children
I can't work with children.
because it will make me. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
put off children.
No, I hate to see them suffer. With adults, you know, it's a bit more understanding. That's the only reason why I didn't want to go into the pediatric.
Oh, I see.
I worked in the community already.
As a scratch. Yeah, you hold on to that for me. Thank you. Oh, nice. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So I like to do activism work, and I also like to care for people. So I have to do both.
How's that feeling? Cold?
Yes.
I definitely know I am in the vein now because I actually got a second flashback, so that's fine. Don't worry about that.
Which uni did you go to?
I went to Surrey,
Sorry, where's that?
Guildford.
Is it far?
Yeah, it's like, you know where Chessington is? Like Thorpe Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, right about there.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I went uni there, but I live here.
Why did you go uni so far?
I wanted the uni experience.
Freedom.
I wanted the uni experience for the most part. I wanted the, you know, my parents and all that. But yeah.
Well, at least you've done it now.
Yeah, it was a long 3 years.
Don't scare me.
Oh, you'll have a good time. It's a good time. It's just a lot of work, but you know.
Yeah.
What you do already, you'll be alright. I struggled because I went straight from college to uni, so it was a bit more difficult for me. But, I mean, personally for me it was.
Yeah, I can imagine as well because I'm every day when I'm doing this job, I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm doing it now, getting like the basic knowledge
Yeah, of course.
before going in, and it gives me the chance to meet different characters.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things I was looking forward to. I've learned a lot about
Uh-huh.
the world and all that ever since I started doing nursing. It's really nice. So, thank you for being so patient.
Patient.
Alright, I'll let you eat your tea and then I'll come see you, okay?
Thank you. I got my gear ready.
Good.
All ready for this transfusion. We are set. The doctor is going to kill me. You all know what this is. And this one. Doc said no Red Bull. Keep it healthy.
It's a brother, do they? Yeah, and they reckon it's after 4 CBT, 100% they can no nighttime flushes. Really? I don't think so. I'm just going to put it down in it. Yeah, sure, we'll anyway, can you pick up? Just taking how long to run it over? Are you at work today?
Yeah,
Where do you work?
I work as a health in the community. Yeah. Is that blood?
No, it's modifier. So it's an iron, a substitute for iron. So your blood results have come back showing that you're low with iron. So instead of giving blood, we give something like this, which is modifier.
Wait, the results, do they have the results for today or?
Then I'm presuming that they've seen that the levels are low, which is why we've given something like this. But I can see if I can print off your blood. If you want to see
Yeah, because last week it was at 70, so I don't know whether it's gone down more this week,
it. Okay.
because I had a lot of bleeding as well.
Okay.
It would be good to know
Yeah.
whether the
Let me see if I
period-
can print it off for you.
Yeah, the manufacturing instruction is half an hour more. And it is not really a shot. I've got your brother back. That's not actually like a pump. So you pump tight. I've got your brother back. That's not actually like a pump.
I'm just going to look at your cannula and give it a little flush, just to make sure that it's definitely working before I put any medications through it, okay? So it might feel a bit of a weird sensation, a little bit cool, but you shouldn't feel any pain, okay? So let me know if you do, okay?
Okay.
No, they might be on the desk. That feel alright?
Yeah.
Where is it painful? Is it painful?
No, just the sensation.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. I'm just going to rest that there, just while I'm sorting the pump out. So we're running it over half an hour, and then we'll monitor you for another half an hour at least after you've had the infusion and it's finished, just to make sure that you're not having any side effects or anything like that. So once we've got it up and running, if you feel hot, you feel flushed, you feel any different to how you feel right now, you just let one of the nurses know. If none of us are in here, I'm going to give you the call buzzer and you press the buzzer and one of us will come and see you, okay? Just because it's like any other medication, so there are risks and side effects with it, okay? You happy for me started?
Yeah. So it's just the one that's plugged in.
Yeah, just this one. What was anything? No, marker like anything.
Yeah, it feels weird.
Does it feel alright?
Yeah.
Might be a bit of an odd sensation. Yeah.
So what's happening in regards to the painkiller?
So Angela's just discussing it with one of the doctors
Okay.
to see what our options are, what they're happy to give you, and
Okay.
what way they want to take it. They might be happy to give you all straight away. They might want to see whether we can take anything else. Do you not take any tablets at all at home?
I can't take because it gets stuck in
Is
here.
that a normal thing for you?
No,
or is that
it just started like a week ago. So basically, it felt like I had a lump in my throat, and for 6 weeks I couldn't eat anything solid, or even liquid. Swallowing it hurt. So I wasn't eating properly, but I thought it was just a sore throat, it would go away, and it didn't. So obviously I've been losing a lot of weight. So I came to the A&E, and they found out that my iron is low. But actually, the original reason I came is because of the pain in my
so this is
throat.
sort of an incidental finding, really.
Yeah, so when the lump, I think when I had the antibiotics, it felt like something busted, but suddenly I was able to swallow solid foods.
Yeah. Go with me.
Mrs. Kumar, yeah?
Yeah.
Some pain relief. You're not allergic to anything, are you?
No. What kind of? Well, paracetamol, I think, because it makes me vomit.
Okay, so this is morphine based. It's squeezed in your mouth. It's a liquid.
Okay.
Okay? So you just put it in your mouth and squeeze it.
It doesn't taste very nice.
Tastes like hospital.
Yeah. I've never heard of it compared to that one.
I've been taking ferroglobin.
Yeah.
It kind of have the same smell, and some antibiotics as well.
The smell of like cleanliness.
Clinic.
Yeah. Antiseptic.
Did that just come out of the fridge? No, I'm in there.
Oh, that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, is it cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Are you guys still busy at the front?
No, but there's only a down. She's telling me.
Right. Alright, so we'll keep that running and we'll keep an eye on you as well. Alright,
Okay, thank you.
same advice, we don't know, let me know, okay?
Okay.
We are halfway.
Was it your hemoglobin you wanted to know if it was?
Yeah.
So it's 67. So it's
Okay.
come down a little bit more, so hopefully this will give it a boost back up.
Okay. Sorry, 70 last week. She said it's gone down to 67. I don't know. I'm confused because they told me 75 is borderline.
Otherwise, Google it and find out what it should be.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you enjoy your dinner. Oh, sorry, that was me squirting the water. I'll let you enjoy your dinner. We'll keep an eye on you for another half an hour or so.
Okay.
And then I'll double check with the doctors.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there, hopefully.
Alright, thank you. Gambia, in West Africa. Oh, I got nice dinner. When I used to have these symptoms, they used to call me lazy.
With the cake, we get a no.
Yeah, because it comes with fatigue. You just feel tired all the time, and no energy to do anything. So they used
This is
to,
like an iron deficiency.
yeah. So but I didn't know all these years until I came to this country, because back home they don't do tests like they do here. So I'm trying to make awareness to say, if someone is feeling lethargic or fatigued, rather than call them lazy, have it tested, because it might be that. Yeah. So that's the idea of the video. All done and ready to go. Hello, I made this video to sensitize people, especially where I come from, Gambia, about anemia. This is something that I've suffered with anemia all my life, but it was actually when I got to England, and it took a few years before I was officially diagnosed with anemia. And earlier today, you would have seen me go and get an iron transfusion. And if you look into my eyes, you can already, I look much better than I did. I think earlier on, I was so tired, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even hold my phone for more. At least I think I look much better than a few seconds. One of the side effects, or yeah, of anemia is fatigue and tiredness. And earlier this week, I would be even looking at my phone, and then the next thing you know, I just fell asleep. And if you know me, I can survive on 4 hours sleep. Like, that's usually how long I sleep. On a normal day, I sleep 4 hours. But this last week, I haven't been able to do that due to the fact that my iron levels were really, really low. And I remember when I was growing up and having these symptoms of anemia, the tiredness, the fatigue that comes with it. A lot of people accused me of being lazy. As a child, sometimes I was told to do something and I just didn't have the energy to do it. I usually stayed in bed most of the day. You would think that I would like to go out and do stuff, and even though I like to have a good social life, but in reality, life is that I don't get a lot of energy, so I stay home most of the time. So most of my friends know I usually stay at home. I don't go out as much, so I kind of save my energy up for when I'm going out to do something. But what I wanted to, I'm hoping what this video can help other people who suffer from anemia or who suspect they have a loved one who suffers from anemia, to get tested and to get the right medication for it. Yeah, so we don't have a really good medical system back home. When I was growing up, so I've never been tested for anemia, and so suffering anemia and not knowing what it was or why I was feeling tired, why I was feeling like lethargic and weak. It's because I never had a test, and a lot of people mistaking those moments of fatigue and tiredness to laziness, and it's not laziness. So if you have a child or you have a loved one and you're worried about them, get them tested, for iron deficiency, because it's very serious, because it can actually, your organs can shut down due to lack of iron in your system. So it's something that has affected me. And just last week, I couldn't understand my body. I thought I had a completely different issue, and then went for that issue, and obviously I was diagnosed with borderline anemia. Within the space of a week, my iron levels went from 70 to 67. Despite taking supplements to help me, I was still feeling tired and fatigued and not being able to open my eyes for long. You can still see, this is like 1 week of my face. I think actually I look better now than I did when I first went into hospital. If you look at the footages from the hospital earlier, I made this video to help sensitize people about anemia. And if you have a child or you have a loved one and they have symptoms of fatigue, please don't accuse them of being lazy. Before you do that, get them tested and find out why they're really feeling like that. Because I spent 16 years in Gambia, and in that 16 years suffering from fatigue, nobody knew what it was. And what did they call it? Laziness. Yeah, I see you're lazy. No, I'm not lazy, because and despite the fact that I've had iron deficiency for quite some time, I've been able to go to work. I went to work even today. I finished work and went straight to the hospital to get my transfusion done. I do my normal things, and obviously if things that I have to do like work, I get the energy to do that. Is when I come home and trying to just relax, I can't even do that. I will just fall asleep. So I was just constantly falling asleep last week due to the fact that my iron levels were very low. And this is the problem we have in Gambia. A lot of diseases that are treatable, we don't have the correct testing done at the correct time, and people go on to suffer for years not knowing what's wrong with them. When I came to England, I also found out that I have an underactive thyroid, which explains why even in Gambia I'm always constantly feeling cold. And then everybody's like, I see you're not normal. I'm normal. It's just that I have an underactive thyroid, which basically tells my hormones that I'm actually, don't tell my brain that I'm warm. So it takes me time for my brain to register that I'm warm, and I feel cold really easily. But all these years, all of those things were based on, people used to say to me, oh, you have you're skinny, that's why you're feeling cold. But I wasn't feeling cold because I was skinny. I was feeling cold because I have an underactive thyroid. There's a lot of diseases out there, a lot of conditions that in Africa in general, we don't have the correct medical system to help people with to treat these treatable and simple, well, not simple, but treatable illnesses that people usually they miss out being diagnosed, and then they go on to suffer unnecessarily for years and years. Like me, if I was living in Gambia, I probably would have died and nobody would have known what was wrong with me. And this is not just my story, this is a story of so many people. I have a sister who tells me, hey sis, if I was in Gambia or if I was in Africa and I had to give birth to my children, I would have died because of all the things that are wrong with me. She had SPD, she has deep vein thrombosis, she has to take medicine that thins her blood, because otherwise she can easily her blood can easily clot. And so then this is why so many women die after childbirth, because they don't know that this person has a certain condition which could have been monitored and treated, but we don't have that. So hopefully this video would encourage the African government, help the African continent to come up with solutions in getting people tested and getting people the right treatments when they need it. Because I've just been to the hospital now. I went like quite late after work, and the transfusion was done in 30 minutes. So within 30 minutes, as you would see in the video that I've done at the hospital, if you look at the video, you would see that it went really, really quickly. So it was a simple treatment. And right now, I'm not 100%, but I feel much better. Like, I'm not feeling like I want to sleep. In fact, I'm doing my editing, which is something I haven't been able to do my editing. Like, seriously, that's the best part of my YouTube channel, is actually when I'm editing. I get so excited. And so not being able to edit these last few days has been a nightmare, because I have a backlog of videos that I need to put out there. But because of my anemia, I couldn't. And my dogs are calling me, shut up, I'm shooting a video, please. All right, thank you. Can I finish with that? I said I'm doing a video. Anyway, my dogs are disturbing me and I need to go now. Yeah, so if you are suffering from anemia, if you suspect you have a loved one who suffers from anemia, don't hesitate to even go private and pay for your own medical thing and go and get tested, or get your loved ones tested, because it's not a nice feeling to have an illness that can take a simple treatment, but you end up suffering. And trust me, these things don't get better. The doctor informed me today that my iron levels have actually gone down to almost 30 from the last 2 years. So with my iron supplements, I was able to keep my iron levels at 100. Today it was 67. So it's quite low. And my battery is also low, flashing me my book. I hope that this video can help sensitize people about anemia, and that if someone is feeling fatigue or tiredness or don't feel motivated to do anything, don't be quick to say that they're lazy. It could